What is up, Midway Mayhem fans? This is Dan, and we're checking in from a new location today, Port Canaveral, more specifically Disney Dreams Terminal. And we're about to get on the ship and check out a live-action showing of Beauty and the Beast. Of course, we're going to give a full tour and review and show anything else that we can see. Let's go! So inside Disney's terminal, they have something really cool here. Now check out this model of Disney Magic. And it has neat cutaways on the other side of this. But here is a grand view of the entire ship. And here's the cutaway side where we can see all the innards of the ship. Lots of holiday decorations are still going on board the ship, as we can see right here. They're about to be loaded on. Enjoy the show. Thank you. Alright, so here we are in the theater on the Disney Dream now, and we're just waiting for the show to start. We got a great view. We'll let you know what we think of it. Unfortunately, we're not able to film or take photos during the show, but we'll give a review.
Wait and see a few days more. There may be something there that wasn't there before. Bonjour!
Bonjour! Bonjour!
Bonjour! Bonjour!
There goes the baker with his tray, like always. The same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning just the same, since the morning that we came to this poor provincial town.
Good morning, Belle.
I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large. And now that I'm grown, dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a bird.
Alright, so the show's over and now we are about to do a Q&A session.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hi. How did you like the show?
That was awesome.
Well, we are all super excited. I'm Yolanda Kate. I'm the Director of Public Relations for Disney Cruise Line and other travel businesses. And I'm going to be a little bit of your tour guide this afternoon, just to kind of guide a little bit of a conversation with what we are saying is just an unrivaled assembly of creative talent that have put together the show that you just had an opportunity to see. So we're going to spend a little time talking to them. I'm going to introduce each and every one of them to you, but we want to also give you an opportunity to ask some questions about what you saw, what you experienced. We know you've had an opportunity to look a little bit at their bios, but I'm going to introduce them formally, and then we'll ask them some questions that might spur others. And I think we shared with you, you're free to take photographs, and I think someone mentioned that Gaston and I think maybe have our channeling Gaston bounding here, so I think we've got the same jacket going on there. So I'm going to start with the director of Beauty and the Beast. And, you know, I think it goes without saying, you know, the mixture of technology and storytelling, a little bit of Disney magic, just warms our hearts. It was incredible. So again, we can't say enough about how excited we are about this team. So starting with the director and choreographer, Connor Gallagher. Connor, just wave. Connor is the choreographer for the forthcoming Beetlejuice, which is coming to Broadway for Warner Brothers Theatrical Ventures. He also choreographed Tangled, the musical for Disney Cruise Line. How many people had a chance to see Tangled? So that's some of Connor's great work. We also have on the panel today Sarah Wordsworth.
Yep.
Sorry, I always do that to you, Sarah. Sarah is the co-writer and creator of In Transit, Broadway's first a cappella musical. So you can see this team is highly decorated. She made her Disney Cruise Line writing debut with Frozen and Music Spectacular. And some of you may have had an opportunity to join us to see that as well. If you thought the sets were fantastic, that is the work of Jason Sherwood, also joining us on the panel. He is a Drama Desk Award nominee, and his recent designs included The Chainsmokers on Saturday Night Live, New York Theater Workshop, and New York Fashion Week. He previously also designed for us on Frozen, a music spectacular for Disney Cruise Line. And then last but certainly not least, I talked a little bit about the technology that you saw in the theater. Responsible for projection and the incredible video design that you saw today, Aaron Ryan. And Aaron is a two-time Drama Desk Award winner for his designs with Anastasia and A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder on Broadway. He also designed Tangled, the musical, and Frozen, a musical spectacular for Disney Cruise Line. So welcome our panelists, and let's give them another round of applause.
The emotional arc of all these characters, especially in this version, we follow the objects a lot more closely, and then be able to transition from location to location. So traditionally in a Broadway show, to bring out a set piece, these transitions would take much, much longer. And so as we all get together and sort of develop the concept using the video and the moving columns, I relied on my choreographer brain just as much as my director brain, even more so, because even when there wasn't a dance number happening, I felt like the way we choreographed and designed all of these set pieces to move together, sort of was me drawing on my choreographer background, and we had to be as efficient as possible setting up these locations so that we could follow the emotional arc more closely.
Absolutely, there's always some action, always some movement on the stage.
We were early on inspired by the new live action film, and we wanted to bring that sensibility to the stage and have it feel very very real, and we wanted the audience to sort of feel like they could live in those places and be in these worlds. But when you combine that with sort of the grand scope of all these things, the castle, this French town, you know, how to bring that to the stage was a challenge. So I think we wanted to utilize video. We were excited about it, but we didn't want you to feel like you were watching the movie or a movie with a bunch of actors walking around in it. So pretty early on, I mean, I remember we had lunch one day and we're really trying to hammer out like how are we going to use video and keep it in a super theatrical storytelling way, so it felt like set pieces, so it felt like you were experiencing it on a theatrical journey. And we came up with the idea that we would use video, but we would use it as though they were set pieces. So that's why things sort of turn in, like houses or buildings kind of turn in as if it was a three-dimensional set piece, or like trees slide up like it would be an old-fashioned flat. So we really tried to make this merger, sort of what Jason said, of like old school and new technology, and explore that visually, but also keep it very inherently theatrical. So it felt like a musical, not a film.
It's really a gift to be able to use them and see what are the major themes, what are the things they changed from the different versions. And then I worked very closely with the music team and with Connor and with everyone here to decide which elements, because we had to condense it, which were the elements that we were going to tell in song, what were we going to do in dance, what were we going to do scenically, all working together to tell the story so that you feel like you haven't missed a thing. And we've got some of the new songs from the score in. So it was a really fun challenge to condense it for this version.
Working for Disney Cruise Line, and specifically the footprint of the stage. So the elevators you're looking at, where the tracks are and what automation you have available to you, was something that we all knew going in. So we're able to sort of choreograph this whole show. I don't know where you were sitting, you could see the lifts going up and down, but the challenges are sometimes I need to have a scene happening over here, this lift has to be down, enabling us for the next scene, and then we've got three other people over there changing costumes for the scene after that. And the challenge of doing a show on a cruise ship, you've got a lot less crew, you've got a lot less dressers, so you really have to get creative. And you think about a number like Be Our Guest, each of those actors has a base costume that they change 3 or 4 times, and they're all built and choreographed. They're all built.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, may I have your attention?
So a lot of times we've choreographed a lot of the backstage traffic, a lot of the costume changes. The actors help each other, or they're built to be to get in and get out of them very, very quickly. The onstage traffic is just as challenging as the offstage, and that's something we took into consideration while we were designing this and developing it. One other thing that we were able to do, we did a workshop of the show in New York in January, and we built a mock-up of the walls that you saw. Not all the way up, but the doors were about the same height, and it was basically just these white walls that we could project on, but we could see, do we like the size of the door? Does this feel right when we walk around this wing? We even had the wings of the theater mocked up, and that was way back in January. So we were able to say, I know it's gonna take me 45 seconds to get from here to the trap. You've got to design a costume, Sarah Covet, that now in that 90 seconds they have to make their next entrance, they can get in and out of this in 45 seconds without a dresser. So we had those conversations all the way through. I could show you a spreadsheet for Be Our Guest that would knock your socks off. It's wild, but it was a really fun process. If you're a detail person, and I think I know most of us are. It's fun to roll your sleeves up and attack the artistic on stage, and then go like, all right, now how do we execute this?
And choreographically, to embarrass him for a second, I think the amazing thing that Connor's done on this show was that, Sarah puts together a version of this opening number of Belle that is clearly portraying a woman who is savvy and smart, and with it, who is different than other people in this town. And then Connor puts together a number where constantly people are reconfiguring apertures and moments that isolate her, that put her in different lanes, and when they turn and flip around, Aaron then takes the video and changes perspective as well. So what it creates is this really incredible marriage between storytelling, direction, choreography, and video in a way that you can tell the story of a person who's on the outside in a way that feels subliminal and really nuanced and really sophisticated for something that we've seen from one vantage point so many times on stage before.
Sometimes you're working on shows in different parts of the country or parts of the world, and you're doing a lot by email, and it doesn't always come together when you get in the room and you say, aw shucks, but it's all there. Here, everything came together, the communication was amazing, and the collaboration was really, really special. And I think it shows on stage.
Absolutely. Well, on behalf of Disney Cruise Line, we are delighted. Our guests are delighted. And we really want to say thank you to you for taking the time out today to come and spend some time seeing what they've all created. Would you join me in giving them a round of applause?
Alrighty guys, so we just finished with the panel and now it is time for lunch. So we're eating right here. Taste of the Disney Dream. We have samplers, entrees, desserts, and everything. It's gonna be amazing. I've never eaten or even been on a Disney ship, so I'm excited. So check this out. Even the bread holder is a carriage. Man, just look how soft that bread is, and it is amazing. And then we have some of the oil right over here. You can dip it in. Delicious. All right, so the appetizer has arrived, and we have 3 different choices here. So we have the ham right there, we have the duck confit, and then we have tuna right there. So 3 different styles. Again, all available on the appetizer menu. All right, so here we go. I've never tried some of these items like duck confit. I'm sure I've never tried in my life. Now, as far as tuna stuff like that, yeah, I've tried it. But let's go ahead and take a sample here. It's good. So it has avocado. Tuna in there is very good. Reminds me almost like a salsa. Overall, scale of 1 to 10, I would give that maybe 7.5 to an 8. I'm not a huge fan of avocado, and I think that's one reason why I'm not a huge like that one. But the tuna is really good. Trust me on that one. Then we have the duck. Now, I apologize because Mom, she's an Oregon Ducks fan, so me eating duck is kind of a sin, but gotta try it. Do it for the media, right, Mom? So here we go. There's the duck. Has kind of a gamier taste than chicken. That's the first time I've ever tried duck in my entire life. Does taste similar to chicken. I like it. Scale of 1 to 10 on that one, I would probably give that an 8 to an 8.5. A lot of flavor though, a lot of flavor. And then of course we have the ham here. Now I love ham in general, and I'm sure I'm gonna like this one. So let's go ahead and grab a bite of it. Perfect. Couldn't ask for any better. Tons of flavor, not too dry. Scale 1 to 10, probably an 8.5 on that one, but at least for the appetizers, not bad. Let it snow, let it snow. Well guys, the main entree has arrived and I decided to get pasta with shrimp. And just look at the size of that shrimp. It's huge. Now kids, don't play with your food. It's not advised. Understand me? Look at this thing. Look how big that is. That's crazy. All right, so now comes the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and try a bite. Pasta is al dente, I can tell right off the bat. Awesome flavor. Really good sauce, not too much and not too light. Parmesan cheese is very fresh, you can tell. And the only thing left really to try is this big old thing. I don't know how I'm gonna eat this. In fact, I'm gonna have to put down the camera for a second so I can cut this, just so I can take a bite. All right, so I was able to break away a little piece of that giant shrimp off, and perfectly cooked. Smells amazing. Let's give it a taste. Really, that is amazing tasting. I'm a shrimp connoisseur, and that knocks it out of the ballpark. That combined with the pasta, excellent entree. Appetizer was good, entree is good. Now all we have is dessert. Well guys, I don't know what to say, but if you're judging by my plate, I don't think I liked it very much. Just kidding, it was amazing. Oh yeah, it is time for dessert. So we have walnut cake right here, creme brulee, and then an orange yogurt cake. So this should be pretty interesting. Let's try it out. All right, so moment of truth, it is time to do a taste test. So we have the walnut cake. You can see the walnuts down at the bottom, and a really, really thick chocolate right there. So let's try it. Amazing. Good crunch from the walnuts. Chocolate is very, very, very rich. Not too overly rich, but very good. Man, that's good. Scale of 1 to 10, I would give that one easily a 9.5 to a 10. Now we have the creme brulee. Creme brulee is one of my all-time favorite things to eat dessert anytime. Hopefully this is going to live up to it. And indeed it does. Amazing. Good crunch from the top layer where they of course, cooked it, I guess you could say. They applied a flame torch to it. Really good. Really sweet, but again, not too overly sweet. There's some raspberries in there as well. I didn't grab one of those, but I'm sure they're just as good. Last thing is we have this orange yogurt cake, and it's got this kind of yogurt on the side. So let's go ahead and give this a try now. I feel like I literally just bit into an orange. Amazing flavor, good. Between the three, probably gonna go with the creme brulee. That's my favorite. Orange cake, really good though. I really can't choose between the orange cake and the walnut cake because they're just as good. That's got to be a 10. That's like a 9.5. That's a 9.5. They're all really good. Dessert, amazing. And now, I'm gonna eat the rest. Well, of course, lunch is all done and everything is cleaned off. I do want to say a special thank you to Steven here, who was so helpful, and thank you for an awesome meal, man. Awesome stuff. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's spongy cake. It's chewy.
If you want to listen at work, make it nice and easy on a desktop right in front of you and get secret.
Well, guys, that is going to do it for our video here from Disney Dream at Port Canaveral. We got a chance to see Beauty and the Beast, the live action musical. Amazing stuff. I personally have seen probably 10 musicals in London and in New York, and this one ranks up there as one of the best. The amount of technology, the cast, everything all wrapped up into one is phenomenal. And the only way to really see it is to do it here on the Disney Dream. So if you want to see it, get on this ship, book your cruise, Disney Cruise Lines, and I promise you, you're going to enjoy yourself, guys. We're going to have more updates from here, from other places from around the world. So if you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Midway Mayhem, and we will see you out on the Midway.